What's up, guys? So I've had these LCI taillights for about a year and a half now, and so far so good. I don't have many complaints, but there are some things that I have to address that you should know before you buy these lights. So quality-wise, I can't complain. Nothing's faded from being in the sun. The LED strips still look great. None of the LED bulbs have burnt out. There's no condensation or moisture that's gotten inside the taillight. All that stuff's good. However, in the description, it does say that you rarely get a code. And I think they're mainly talking about, because these lights also fit the true LCI cars, 2011 and up, I think that was talking about those guys. If you have a pre-LCI, I think you'll get a code, because I got a code, like a month after the install. I know in the installation video I said there was no code, but there really wasn't. It took like a month for, I guess, the car to register that it's got new lights, and oh, we got to throw a code now. And the code isn't that big of a deal. It never bothered me enough to get it coded out. It just says, warning, right tail lamp malfunction. And then there's a little triangle in the gauge cluster that just shows you that there's a warning message up. So, you know, if you're ever with a girl or whatever, and, you know, you're embarrassed, once you start the car, you can always be like, oh, hey, you know, what kind of car is that? Look. And then they look, they're all distracted, and you quickly exit out the code so they don't think that they're in some old piece of crap with broken taillights. You could always do that. But if that message still bothers you and you get tired of pulling that trick, I reached out to my local shop, asked them how much to code that out, and they said $124 for 3 codes. So not just that code, but I know other popular codes include like Euro hazards, or the seatbelt chime delete, or a good one would be the seatbelt helper thing delete, so that thing doesn't come out and just waste your time, because that thing doesn't do anything anyways. I mean, mine doesn't work. I don't know about yours, but that'd be a good one. So $124, I guess, is just a standard hour of labor for 3 codes, and that would code out those messages. And I think because mine aren't coded, I do get flickers. This is one of the big things I wanted to mention, if it bothers you. It doesn't bother me, but the lights do flicker upon startup for like 5 to 10 seconds. And I was driving behind my own car the other day. My friend was driving it, and I noticed a few of those flickers. It just did it like twice. I mean, if you blink, you miss it. It did it like twice within like 5 minutes. So it's not all the time. It's very rare that it does it looks like. Of course, when you're driving behind your own car, you're like inspecting your car. But anybody else, I don't think would ever notice that. But just to mention, that does happen, and I'm pretty sure that happens because I haven't coded the taillights to the car. So that should fix that. Another big thing I'd like to address, which is no one's fault, this is just my own, it's just I really stress a good, proper, take your time install. I have a good installation video on the channel. I'll put it in the description below. I've got my friend holding the camera. It's not one of those guys where they're like holding it and let me put the camera down and you know, no bad lighting and all that stuff. It's actually a good video, straight to the point. But because we did it on like a Sunday night and we had work Monday morning, I kind of rushed through it just to make sure that the video was good, and then that the install, I took less time on that. I tried like twice to adjust the taillight, and it just wasn't working. Long story short, I left like one nut sort of kind of, like it was snug but not tight, because every time I would tighten it, the others would it would get wonky, and like I couldn't get it perfect, and I was just trying to get the light in. I should have fixed it the next day, but I never did. Well, that bolt that I left snug eventually got loose like 8 months later, and I swear it rained like Noah's Ark one day, and water literally just went in between the taillight and the body of the car. It was like a perfect channel, just funneled it right into where the amp is. If your trunk's open, you're facing the trunk, your amp is right there at the left underneath that cover. And I popped that cover, and the amp was completely submerged underwater. And here's what happened. Sounds like a thunderstorm, but it's not. It's an electrical storm. Oh, did it just die?
Oh my gosh, there's smoke.
Holy crap. Oh! So yeah, fried my speakers. Thankfully the amp was fine. I was able to put it out in the sun and it dried in a few days, but the speakers I had to replace. So kind of an expensive mistake. So please, I can't stress enough, just make sure you take your time on the install. Make sure that the gap between the body and the taillights is all even and the bolts are tight. Just take your time with it. And other than that though, I love these taillights. Still, it was my first mod to the car, and still, well, not that my car is highly modded, but still one of my favorite things, just because it makes the car look so much newer. It looks great. And for the money, you really can't beat it. So any questions, let me know, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.